Okay, guys, so I don't do videos like this very often, but I figured you guys might like it, so I thought I'd make it anyway. Now, I discovered this new game. It's called Warthunder. Again, it's actually been around for a while. I'm just really late to the trend. But anyway, what you can do is you can either fly a plane like you see in the gameplay behind you, because, you know, I love me some planes, or you can be a tank. And I'm not really a big fan of tanks. I've never have been, really, and I'm not very good with them at all. I'm terrible at tank driving, but there's also a naval aspect that's coming to it soon, you know, submarines, stuff like that. And, well, I figured with my time playing the game, that would make some tips for you. Now, tip number one is communicate. Communication is of utmost importance, so I place it number one on this list. If you can communicate with your team, you know, tell them which targets you're going after, like with bombers. Bombers is very important, but that doesn't mean it's less important with other classes or other roles. But if bombers can coordinate which targets to hit, and if they're like really high tier bombers that can take out like a whole entire thing by themselves, then they can just like end the game super fast. I can't snap, okay? Quit judging me, I can't snap. But anyway, they can end the game really fast. And we know with fighters they can coordinate, you know, let's go after this guy, they gang up on that guy, take him down really quick, and then move on to other guys. And then with like twin engine fighters or stuff like that are defending the bombers, they can coordinate, say, hey, if there's a dude behind me, just saying, you know, stuff like that. You know, they can let the bombers know where they are, what they're doing, and well, that's pretty much it. Now, tip number two: know your plane. Know what you can do and cannot do as a plane. Like, this is actually my first game with this new plane that I got. It's an attacker. It's a Russian attacker, and I didn't know what it could do. I didn't know how to do it, and I'm almost positive that I nearly hit the ground there, because I didn't know that it can't dive very well. And I didn't know how to play an attacker either. I still don't. I don't really like it all that much. I discovered the hard way, because I grinded for hours upon hours trying to get that plane. But anyway, know your plane. Know how well it can dive, how well it can't, stuff like that. You have to know how well your plane can do certain things. How well it can shoot, how well it can take a plane down, how well it can gain altitude, stuff like that. And this kind of ties into tip number three, which is know your role. Know your role in a squad of people. If there is a squad of fighters, I can't even tell you how awesome that is. And it kind of ties to number one, is communicate. You have to communicate with your teammates and what you're gonna do. Bombers, you have to. Oh Jesus, I burped. Sorry. But like bombers, they go after stationary targets, you know, stuff like that. And then the attackers will go after the ground targets, and then the fighters will try and keep the enemy team's fighters off of their back. And then some of the twin engine fighters will defend their stuff. Everyone has a certain thing that they do really, really well, and it's trying to find that thing that you do really well that will help you win games. And this kind of ties in this tip number four as well. Like they all tie into each other. But tip number four is stick with your teammates. If you stick with your teammates and you know you all go in with a squad, you will absolutely destroy the enemy team. Me, I haven't really found anyone to play with yet. I'm trying to get my friends into the game, but you know, they all play Fortnite. That's a really big trend right now, but you know, I haven't really been enjoying it that much lately, which is why I'm playing this. But anyway, if you can find a friend, you know, like one of you be an attacker, one of you be a fighter, it's a force to be reckoned with on the field. And you know, tip number five, it's a bit out there, but you know, I think it's very important. Tip number five: practice your landings. I cannot tell you how many times I have died from failing to land my plane properly. And it doesn't help that I'm using a giant German twin engine fighter. That doesn't help. But also the PBY Catalina, you cannot land that on a landing strip, as I discovered the hard way. You cannot land that thing on a landing strip, sadly. I had a dude in group chat as I came in fair lane, and he goes, yeah, I want to see you land that PBY. And then I landed it and I blew up into a big ball of flames. That was a fun day. And a little bit of extra tip right here, as you just saw: never ever take head-on battles. They will never work for either of you. And that dude just crashed into the ground. But yeah, head-on battles, never take them ever. But that's pretty much it for this video. I'll go more in depth in a later video if you want. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.